He's 4D 40. My 3-year-old son just said, Mommy, why don't people just stay inside instead of going out and possibly infecting others? She's only 5. My son just unwrapped this for Christmas Eve and said, wait, why is there only one girl in this whole set? BRB wiping a feminist tear. Your son unwrapped it for Christmas Eve? 9-year-old, the universe created people. People created God. We are made of stardust, and when we die, we're dust again that will create more universes, and it just goes on forever. Me? Is that a question? God, it's really early for such a big question. No, I think I got it. My president thinks that I'm strong and can change the world. The president-elect thinks I am sexy and I can be grabbed. Not my president. Oh, some parents are so awful and gross. Actually, if the current state of the millennials and Gen Z is of any indication, I think most parents are awful. Told my 3-year-old we needed to pick up dinner for her dad. She said, Daddy's a grown man. He can cook his own food. My work here is done. Wow, screw doing nice things for Dad, I guess. My youngest hacked our Netflix parental code. She put light links on the remote and got me to input the code when she wasn't looking. Then, she noted the numbers I pressed and went through the combinations later. I'm both frightened and impressed. That's not hacking, that's just surveillance. Hacking would have been installing software or grabbing the code from the TV, computer, or whatever device uses Netflix. Thank you, Tyler. Wanna see Jumanji? Yes. But I want to help the homeless. Well, let's come up with a plan, baby girl. What do you have in mind? Wow, my kid just stopped me in my tracks. Wow. My daughter, who is 8 years old, when she heard that the vice president had picked Kamala Harris, her eyes got big, fresh, and said, my goodness, she's South Asian and Jamaican. That means anything is possible for a woman. And this is my daughter, who is 8 years old. Yeah, you already told us that.
Pure creates a clear filter to show what gets removed from water. This is what you can see. Just imagine what you can't.
Kindergartners for Trump. Oh, look, even more terrible parents. Yikes. Just another Sunday, he insisted on wearing his new flag pin, just like the president, and his new MAGA hat. He is the future of this country, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna stop him from showing his support for his favorite modern president. My 2-month-old, I can't sleep, Daddy. I'm afraid of Frankenstein. Me? Don't you mean Frankenstein's monster? My 3-month-old, I do not. Personally, I find unethical and irresponsible scientific practice far more terrifying than any physical being, and so should you. Warning, as my daughter laughed at Trump's speech, she turns and asks, how is this idiot president? So began our lesson on demagoguery, populism, national This morning, I told the 10-year-old about a media thing I'm doing with some other founders. Her first 2 questions, how many are women? How many are people of color? This kid gives me hope for the next generation every single day. Yeah, I bet. Watching election coverage. 6-year-old son, who are they? Those people are who want to be president. So what does the president do? Well, first of all, never mind. Can I have fruit snacks? And this is how a real conversation about politics with a child goes. My son just said to me, if everyone ate 5 bites less of food each day, we could feed so many hungry people. He's only 4, but already realizes how much food is in the world. Well, my 4-year-old just dumped an entire bottle of ketchup on his steak. He might not be as woke as your kid, but guess who's more likely to be president? I was eating breakfast with my 10-year-old granddaughter, and I asked her, what day is tomorrow? Without skipping a beat, she said, it's President's Day. She's smart, so I asked her, what does President's Day mean? I was waiting for something about Obama, Bush, or Clinton, etc. She replied, President's Day is when the president steps out of the White House, and if he sees his shadow, we have another year of bullshit. You know? It hurts when coffee spurts out your nose. 3-year-old, I need you to fix this. Me, listen, I got my own problems. You fix it. Listen, you got my problems and your problems. Actually, that's very accurate. Give me a toy, I'll fix it. That kid is right. As a parent, how do you tell your child Black Panther died? My son asked if it was because of his race. Broke my heart again. I asked my nephew if he wanted the PS5, and he said, no, my Wii works just fine. Go invest in a stock. I'm raising a king. My 7-year-old is doing a math worksheet, and it's telling him that the eraser, 37 cents, costs more than the pencil, 18 cents, and he is outraged. If you're poor and you can't afford the eraser, you can't correct your mistakes. But if you're rich, you can erase all your mistakes. Well, yeah, but see, erasers don't actually erase very much. You know what I mean? It's not going to erase a murder I committed. There are so many other worlds. Sometimes when you hold special rocks, you can hear them. Rainbow Wolf, age 6. Wait, her name is what? My 2-year-old son just asked me, Father, if Santa is real, why didn't he dedicate his factory to the war effort and produce ammunition during the shell crisis of 1915? Unbelievable. My 18-month-old came up to me this morning and asked, Mom, why are people spending their time in quarantine not learning a new skill, trying to create new sources of revenue, or trying to acquire an LLC? Let that sink in. Okay. Singing to my 5-year-old, Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Stop. It's a ball of gas. Science. Stop pretending you don't know what it is. Jesus, kid, I was just singing a goddamn song. 2 weeks ago, I told kids at school to write an essay titled, If I Were a Millionaire. Everyone was writing except a girl who leaned back with arms folded. What's the matter, I asked. Why aren't you writing? I'm waiting for my secretary, she replied. Scored her 10 out of 10. The level of emotional intelligence in my son is insane. He hates sharing popcorn. It's his favorite snack. He just gave me some and said, I'm working on getting over my anger when I have to share my popcorn. Take some from me so I can get used to sharing. This 9-year-old, man. I told my 10-year-old as her school was canceled that this was so unprecedented, her generation may end up being defined by it. Not 2 minutes later, she excitedly exclaimed, we don't have to worry about getting shot at school for 3 whole weeks. Sobering AF. I mean, unfortunately, it is a valid point, but your 10-year-old did not say that. My child always yells loudly, why are they wearing a mask? Aren't they scared of the corona? Don't they know masks reduce your oxygen and increase your CO2 inhalation and weakens your immune system? COVID parenting tip. Train your children to loudly ask, why isn't that person wearing a mask? Are we going to get sick when in public? I was just in Target and heard this 3-year-old say to his dad, Daddy, I think people who use the word simp are doing so because they're rooted in misogyny. Women deserve to be treated with respect without people calling them simps. Wow, incredible. Everyone clapped after. Ah, Tommy, you were so close. My 10-year-old is not having it. What increased the need for slaves? Those people did not need slaves. Dan, you did a really good job mimicking that handwriting. Take your mask off because God's got you covered. Wow, he missed a couple million people though. My 18-month-old son built this. I told him good job, and that half of it. Right, so I told him, that's socialism. Don't let them bring it here. He looked me dead in the eye and said, not in my America. My 8-year-old daughter came up to me today and said, Dad, today isn't for you, okay? It doesn't always have to be about you. I'll be a woman one day, and it'll be up to us women to fix the damage done by men. I started to cry. She then reminded me male tears weren't helping. Wise. Whoa. My friend's 6-year-old brother made this bracelet. He accidentally put the beads on backwards, but that's okay. It's still super cute. You may thank my 11-year-old. Pumpkin, orange on the outside, hollow on the inside, and should be thrown out in November. I was about to pay my rent, and my unborn son handed me this cash and said, Mommy, it's time for me to start carrying my own weight around here. I got this. I love my son. Vaccines were discovered by Edward Jenner in 1796. It didn't solve anything. Vaccines are toxic. My body, my choice. Me and my kids clowning at the seafood restaurant. If you want to eat adult food, you have to act like an adult, daughter. If we acted like adults, we would be causing global warming. Me, I found my 5-year-old daughter's Elizabeth Warren action figure in her bed when I was making it this morning. When I asked her why, she said, I was scared and she makes me feel brave. Warren is inspiring a whole generation of little girls to grow up and move mountains. This little girl I'm babysitting just asked me if I have a boyfriend, and I said